And next up, we have Cape Town. Welcome to Cape Town.
Testing, testing. Wow, Brest, beautiful presentation, thank you. And yeah, bonjour, thanks everyone. So, did you know that about half of the human population depend on the oceans for their main source of food? And by proportion, we actually get most of our protein from fish. Yet, we're caught in a sort of tragedy of the commons type situation where we're fishing faster than the rate at which fish populations can replenish naturally. So we need to shift the incentive structures that are driving illegal overfishing. Otherwise, we risk the collapse of our marine ecosystems and the many lives that depend upon them.
Yeah. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing refers to the activities that defy laws and regulations and fishery management measures. It is a global issue that is very difficult to monitor and police, and that is why it's one of the biggest problems or obstacles to achieving sustainable fisheries and livelihoods. It equates to approximately 11 to 19% of reported global fishery production, and leads to losses of roughly 10 to 22 billion euros all around the world each year.
So unmonitored, unregulated oceans, they don't just enable overfishing or IUU fishing, they also enable the trafficking of humans and drugs. Now, these crimes undermine the political and economic stability of our nations. They degrade the dignity of our communities, and in many cases, they can ruin the lives of individuals and families.
Yeah, and due to the severity of this problem, where some ships or boats just turn off their A.I.S. signals to conduct such crimes, we decided to tackle it at the Ocean Hackathon Cape Town edition. My name is Frank. I'm a computer science master student at Ulm University in Germany, and I did research in Cape Town on data science for ecology, mostly about machine learning and bioacoustics with bats. And
I'm Theo from Cape Town, South Africa. I'm a physicist by training, now working in data engineering and biotechnology. My passion or my aspiration is to pioneer the blue bioeconomy in South Africa. And I also want to dedicate my time to safeguarding and restoring our ocean's precious resources. So there are several solutions out there already on the market that are mitigating IUU fishing. So these include marine monitoring buoys, there's also satellite imaging techniques, and then there's also remote electronic monitoring systems that get installed directly into ships. Now, these technologies are great when it comes to precision, generally speaking, but our solution it requires far less capital investment. And so it is really well suited to countries such as South Africa, where we have very limited resources available to dedicate towards marine protection. And it's also suitable to a lot of countries that already have existing high-frequency radar infrastructure, which is actually a lot of countries, because we use these stations on the coast to monitor the surface currents of the ocean.
yeah, so our solution uses high-frequency radar data that's, as you said, usually used for monitoring the ocean currents or surface ocean currents. And there are already installed like all around the coastlines of the world. And they use the Doppler effect to measure the wave velocities at different points, and we also use A.I.S. data, which is the ship location data and also other associated data that is sent by the ships to the stations on the land. And we trained a neural network with the high-frequency radar data as the input, and we're trying to reconstruct the ship location data and compare it to the actual A.I.S. data to let the model know if it's correct or if it's not correct. And by that, we train the model to reconstruct the ship locations, even if the ships have turned off the A.I.S signal. And by that, we can just catch them at the port when they're back from doing their fishing and check them for illegal activities like fishing, endangered species, or anything else here.
Thanks, Frank. Yeah, so this ship detection model that we trained is really just the centerpiece in a broader IUU fishing alert system that we designed during the hackathon. So given the predicted locations of the ship, what we can do is we can run it through various checks. So for example, we can check, is the vessel within a marine protected area, yes or no? Is the ship dark? Has it gone into pirate mode, right? Has it turned its A.I.S signal off? And then we can also check, is the ship within our exclusive economic zone? And does it have a valid fishing permit to be there? And what this enables us to do is to derive a much more valuable, much more actionable data set where we have the ship locations in close to real time and a list of their infringements. So now let's have a look at the front-end interface.
Yeah, so this is our graphical interface. It's fully functional, very simplistic and easy to use. And as you can see, you can turn on and off the MPAs if you want, or the EEC lines. And you can load your data, your A.I.S data from your system. And you can also import your high-frequency data. And obviously, this will be automated in the future with live streaming. It's doing the predictions. You can go through all the time steps using this playback feature, and we can also predict the trajectory of the ships that went dark, so we can catch them at the port. And as you can see, yeah, you can turn on and off each part of the map. You can switch on and off the radars, the A.I.S, and the predicted ships.
So yeah, we can catch the pirates at the port and prosecute if need be. We are a for-profit business, and we provide a data service, which is this IUU fishing alert system to governments and potentially large fishing organizations as well. And our pricing is based at the various levels of access to our data services. In terms of the size of the opportunity, well, if we take the global fishing sector at 230 billion euros per year, where we've included the total revenue of the fishing sector plus the losses incurred due to these illegal fishing activities, then we have a serviceable available market at 10%. That is the losses, that's an upper bound really. That's the losses incurred by IUU fishing. Now, our claim is that if we can, again, this is global, if we can take just 0.2% of the total addressable market, then our growth potential is 460 million euros. Now, we've had a lot of support. A shout out to Ocean Hub Africa. I know they're online. CLS Southern Africa, various other stakeholders. We're delighted to be here. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much indeed, Cape Town. Are there any questions from the front row or from online, please? I believe we have our first question now.
Thank you again for another impressive presentation. A question regarding the range of your radar. Is it over the horizon radar?
So it's around 150 kilometers, roughly speaking. So unfortunately, we can't really reach out past the EEZ. But with the right technological developments, I think it will be possible to get further.
Okay, thank you. Maybe another quick question, because you mentioned that you use artificial intelligence to detect the ship, but do you also use artificial intelligence to know if the boat is fishing?
So currently we cannot know if it's actually fishing, but we can detect if they're in an illegal zone, like if they're in an MPA or if they're outside of the EEZ or inside the EEZ. We can detect that, and because we know the trajectory and probably can estimate the arrival time and the exact arrival destination, we can just try to prosecute them there or look if they have specific species for those MPAs.
Yeah, but don't you think you could use the cinematic of the ship, use the speed and the behavior of the ship to assess whether it's fishing or not?
We thought about it. Maybe you can do that if they're like stopping to fish, or yeah, we have to figure it out. We need more data and more annotated data for like if it's fishing or not fishing. We currently don't have that.
Okay, thank you.
Just to add to that, I think it is possible, future developments at play, and we can also look at partnering with people using the satellite imaging techniques. That will also help confirm.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Yes, hello everyone. I have a question from a jury member, a remote jury member. I'm in Tamhoa. I work with the French Ministry of the Sea. I expect every navy in the world would be interested in such a tool. And my question is, when teaching training your model, how did you check its precision, and what success rate did you reach?
So we still need more validation because the A.I.S. data especially is very expensive, and high frequency data is very scarce. We don't have enough of that. So accuracy is not that high, but how to train it, it's quite simple, I guess. We can just map the locations of the ships onto an image, and the high frequency radar data, we can also map it onto an image, and we can use just image models on that to reconstruct it.
Yeah. Thanks, Frank. I mean, just to riff on that, I think as with many machine learning projects, with more data, we'll get more accuracy. We had a cost function value, which doesn't tell us that much, relatively low, 0.01. So yeah, but I think with more data, we can get it better. And there was one more thing. We did do a literature review, and there was a few papers out there that are also claiming that using HF radar data to do this kind of thing, it is feasible, it seems.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Cape Town.
Thank you.
Thank you.